I'm not doing it. The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that gets progressively faster as it continues. Line up at the start. Okay. Happy now? What is going on, everyone? My name is Jels from Fitment Industries, and I am in desperate need of a haircut. I don't even want to look at it anymore, so I just kind of like tuck it all up inside this hat. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Oh no, sir! We are here with another episode of the Build Sheet, where today we are gonna be going over some of the 5 best car modifications for beginners. Now, before we go ahead and get into it, don't forget to subscribe. And if you haven't already picked up the t-shirt for this month's giveaway, you're missing out, because not only is it one of my favorite all-time shirts we've ever done, but you also get entered in to win a free set of Fortunato coilovers. And time is running out by the time you are watching this. So check out the description below, get the link, and get yours ordered. Anyway, when it comes to modifying cars, just like anything else, there are things that you can do that are pretty straightforward and can take a little to no time at all to do. And then there are things that can take years, but mostly because you start with one thing and it leads to another. Then eventually you just get to a torn apart car that sits on jack stands for all of eternity. Eventually you just end up selling it to some other poor soul to deal with. I'm looking at you, 240SX owners. Either way, just like anything else, if you are new to modifying cars, you have to start somewhere. And what better way to do that than go over some of the easiest modifications you can do to a car that are going to make a difference in one way or another. And I use the quotations around easiest because even though the recommended allotted time may be 30 to 45 minutes, let's face it, you're gonna be in the garage all day. Trust me, spent 8 hours installing a splitter the other weekend. But it looks great! So first up on the list, we have everyone's favorite, and if not for the enjoyment of actually installing this piece, but then definitely for the outcome, exhaust. Whether that be a catback, axleback, muffler delete, header, whatever it may be, installing exhaust components is probably the first on the list for anyone looking to modify their car, because we are all just a little bit of a racer at heart. And don't lie to me, I've seen your need for speed underground builds. Not only is it one of the easiest modifications to do for the most part, but hearing your car start up with a new exhaust for the first time is probably one of the greatest things ever. For the most part, a catback install or axleback install can be done in your garage with a jack and some jack stands in a matter of a Sunday afternoon, just in time to piss off the neighborhood enjoying their weekend barbecue when you do the first startup. Usually only requiring some sockets and a wrench, and more likely some PB blaster and a torch, exhaust installs are pretty straightforward and can be pretty inexpensive, but can also be expensive if you want to go with a big name brand. But like everything else, you get what you pay for, so keep that in mind when searching around for an exhaust for your car. Next up on the list, we gotta hit you with it, and that would be wheels and tires. From FitmentIndustries.com. Come on now, it's not just because, you sell the stuff, it's because it's one of the easiest things if you can do to your car, if not actually the easiest, that can drastically change the look of it. Adding a new set of wheels to a car can drastically change its appearance, yes, but also paired with a good set of tires can also increase handling performance. Getting yourself hooked up with a good set of wheels and tires can be one of the easiest, most satisfying modifications you can do to literally any vehicle. If you do a little research to figure out what size wheel you need, what offset you need to get that good old fitment, pair that with a decent tire, and you got yourself headed in the right direction there, bud. And guess what? We're here to help you with all of that. It's kind of what we do, Fitment Industries. So there, I said it. It's out of the way, it's done with, it wasn't too bad, was it? And tell me I'm wrong, it's not my fault that wheels are just, awesome. It's just a thing, and it's easy to do. Moving on, number 3 on the list of the 5 best mods for beginners is another one of those mods that, depending on the brand that you get, can really make a difference both in the outcome and the installation of it. And that would be a cold air intake. And what I mean about depending on the brand you go with is that yes, there are some intakes out there that can be pretty expensive. However, if you plan to take the $40 eBay special, you can expect the following: couplers not fitting, hose clamps that either break right away or corrode to all hell in the matter of a few weeks, mounting hardware that makes absolutely no sense, and then number 4, eventually the whole thing just falling off at least twice a week, and you got to get out the little tool set and apply everything back in the Walmart parking lot because it just decided to fall off. Been there, done that, never again. However, a proper cold air intake can be beneficial for the most part and is pretty easy to install. Essentially, remove the factory intake and replace it with the new one. If you go ahead and pick up yourself a decent one, you have all the necessary places for all your sensors and hoses that it should be a simple plug and play add-on. Pair this with your exhaust that we just talked about earlier and a tune perhaps, and you're going to be one happy camper. An install like this usually can be done pretty quick, but with a couple sockets and a screwdriver, it is very straightforward install. And induction noises are just... Now, bear with me here. We talked about 2 of the 3 things, so here comes the 3rd. Suspension, right? All right, let's just do it. Listen, all right, suspension is dope. Whether it's coilovers, lowering springs, air suspension, or maybe you lifting your car if you're one of those people. I don't know. Modifying your car's suspension is another one of those modifications that makes a huge difference in appearance and handling performance. We've talked about it in the past about how lowering your car's center of gravity helps a ton in the aspect of cornering and all that kind of stuff, but it also helps with making your car look absolutely badass. And the beauty of the whole thing is that you have quite a few options to choose from. Whether you want to not drop a whole lot of your cash but still want to drop your car, bars, you go with something like lowering springs, or maybe you want adjustability, coilovers, or maybe you want to absolutely ball up for the gram, air suspension. All of which, even though intimidating at first, can be done within a matter of a few hours. And if you don't have to be super knowledgeable to do it either, you just have to have the patience to do it. Even air suspension. Companies like AccuAir and Airlift are very good about including step-by-step installation guides with pictures of your exact vehicle showing what you need to do to get everything where it needs to go. Plus, YouTube. Need I say more? And then last but certainly not least on the list for today is probably one of my favorites, and that would have to be aero pieces or exterior mods. Things like splitters, side skirts, fenders, wings, trunks, diffusers, hoods, all play a key role in the style and appearance of your car. And as we know today, the age of big wings and all that are just starting to die out just a little bit. But overall, aero and aggressive aero is still everywhere. Whether it be buying a lip kit or aero kit, or perhaps just making some things yourself, adding exterior modifications to your car can be pretty simple. However, it is important that you take the necessary time to do the preparation and have the patience to be meticulous with these parts, as they are like out there for the world to see. Take time to double check your measurements or make sure that everything is lined up before you decide to self-tap everything into the underside of the car. Things like this can be a little petrifying at first, especially when it does come to having to drill holes into the side of your car or underneath your car. However, carbon fiber replacements like hoods or trunks, maybe even fenders if you want to go that far, are very common and don't require a whole hell of a lot of modification, if any, to install. However, if you are looking to install any kind of aero to your car, you're just going to have to get over the fact you're going to have to drill some holes. Because unfortunately, my friends, 3M tape just doesn't hold the whole world together, especially for this kind of stuff. And if you're really concerned about things falling off, you can take the 8 hours to install a chassis mount splitter like I did. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today. Drop a comment down below if you think there's something in this list that should have been in there. But I'm Jealous from Fitment Industries. Don't forget to subscribe, pick up a t-shirt if you want to get entered in and win a free set of Fortune Auto coilovers, of course, wheels, tires, suspension, all that good stuff. FitmentIndustries.com. We will see you later. Peace.